So why do you need to get into the office again?
I'm pretty sure the robbery was an inside job, and I think the proof is in the office.
So what's stopping you?
Super cop over there.
What if I create a distraction?
You do that, and I will let you have whatever I find.
That's a deal, George. Somehow I had to get the inspector away from the office door. Inspector Nave, do you have a moment?
My time is of the essence. Be quick now.
Could you give me a statement, Inspector?
Now is not the time, madame.
I suppose this is quite a complex case, Inspector.
It is a robbery gone bad. Nothing more, nothing less.
Surely there's a bit more to it than that.
Please abstain from baseless conjecture, madame. The victim's body paints a simple picture, more reliable than any witness statement. Consider the impact of the bullet, and note the concomitant lack of blood. A casual homicide, nothing more.
Don't you find it odd that the thief chose that one particular painting?
Life is full of odd things, madame. Fingerless gloves, white dog poo-poo, nasal hair. I prefer to concern myself with murder.
Did you see the alarm was sabotaged?
I have interrogated the crime scene, madame. I am fully aware of the disabled security. I prefer biological evidence to the merely circumstantial. Body parts, blood, important things.
Don't you think the disabled alarm is highly suspicious, though?
The forensic team will be along shortly. Voice your concerns to them. Do not bother me with this circumstantial fliff-flaff.
Why don't you check out the security camera footage?
Madame, that is not my area of expertise. It is the body which concerns me.
But the CCTV footage is evidence. It could help identify the killer.
Correction, madame. It is but an indicator. The only true evidence is bodily fluid. Unless you know something I don't, then please leave me be.
The only evidence Inspector Nave seemed to appreciate involved gore. What do you think about the American, Georges?
He is deeply suspicious.
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember anything else. If I was going to distract Nave, I needed to unearth new evidence or concoct some. And the bloodier, the better. I'd never met the gallery owner before. The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. I spread some of this sauce around with my shoe. It looked a little bit like a blood stain, but it still wasn't right. If I was going to distract the cop, I had to get rid of that gum. No way was I No. I decided to wait for a better time. It was a blob of chewing gum, probably carried in on some... Josh,
Yeah, Nico.
you said you needed to get into the office?
And you said you were going to create a distraction.
Are you
Enchanté.
I'mNicole Collar, a reporter.
Ah, a fallen angel then, my favorite sort.
What can you tell me about the painting that was taken?
It was called La Malediccio, an unknown work that only recently surfaced.
Who was the artist?
A mysterious figure known only as El Serp. Some say he was a student of Picasso. He was good, but not great, and his true identity remains unknown.
What can you tell me about the theft?
Oh, it was truly awful. What do you want to know?
Tell me about the shooting, monsieur.
Well, it all happened so fast.
Take your time. What did you see?
I can't be sure. Perhaps I could answer your questions over dinner.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I'm on a tight deadline. Did you see the thief?
I would have tackled him, but he was too quick for me.
Have you spoken to Georges?
The American?
Yes.
He promised to clear up any misunderstandings the police might have about my presence here.
What can you tell me about Henri's involvement with the gallery?
Dear Henri, a shining diamond in the ordure that is the modern art business. He owned the What will we do without him?
Did you know that the alarm had been sabotaged?
No. How dreadful. I suppose.
Here's my press card.
And there was I thinking you were too young and beautiful to be a reporter.
Thanks for your help, Monsieur Lane. I wasn't going to get anything useful from Lane. Excuse me, Father.
Father Simeon, my child.
Are you okay, Father?
It's a terrible shock, but yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Could I ask you some questions about the crime?
What kind of questions?
I'm a reporter for La Liberté.
I suppose it cannot hurt. Please ask away.
Why did you come to the gallery today, Father?
God brought me here. I saw the poster for the exhibition. I had to come.
What do you mean?
I knew there was great evil in La Malediccio. It was my duty to confront it. The painter was El Serp, the Serpent, don't you see?
Evil? So, what were you planning on doing here today?
I wanted to bear witness to anything that the devil would conjure.
Well, I think it was a no-show, Father.
Really? A man is dead, Miss Collard. I'd say his work here today is done.
That wasn't going to help my story. What do you think about that stain?
Is that blood?
I think it's just sauce. I wonder if there's a mop anywhere.
We are facing death and divine retribution. This is no time for tidying up.
Father Simeon wasn't making much sense. Did you see anything that might help identify the killer?
The devil takes many forms, child. I didn't get a good enough look, I'm afraid.
Anything would help.
I'm sorry, my dear. My mind was elsewhere.
What do you know about Henri?
An innocent victim, insofar as any of us are innocent. If he was peddling such blasphemous works as the El Serp painting, Then who knows what other sins he was hiding?
Father Simeon was making me feel guilty. Priests always did that to me. What can you tell me about the painting?
Grotesque and evil.
How can a painting be evil?
By killing all who come into contact with it.
Does that mean we're next?
Laugh not at the devil's play, Miss Collard.
Do you know anything about the painter, Serpent?
He was a purveyor of blasphemy, a servant of the Antichrist.
How can you know that?
It is clear from his work.
Father Simeon was making a lot of assumptions. Thank you for your time, Father. The priest had nothing useful to offer. Inspector!
Yes?
Have you seen that stain on the floor by the door? What do you think it is?
I don't have time to waste discussing domestic hygiene. Please, leave me to my work.
So you think George is a suspect?
As I said, I am not often wrong about such things, but I have already said too much.
Do you really think this is a cut-and-dried case?
En effet, cut, dried, sealed, and delivered.
Do you know anything about La Malédiction?
It is a painting. It was stolen. Point?
Are you certain you don't want to investigate the alarm?
Unless you can show me new evidence, then please leave me to my work.
So you don't think the CCTV footage is useful?
I prefer a more visceral approach to the crime scene. Please, keep your little card away from me.
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember anything else. Monsieur Le...
My...
Father Simeon says that the painting is evil.
The priest is a lunatic. La Malédiction is a painting, and a painting cannot be evil.
So you and Georges have been getting along?
No, I wouldn't say that, my dear.
Thanks for your help, Monsieur Lane. Lane had nothing to offer. At least not. No way was I going to clean that. It was a blob of chewing gum, probably carried in on somebody's shoe. I scraped up the chewing gum with my press card, hoping the The tomato sauce looked as close to blood as it was. Inspector!
Yes?
Have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
Indeed. How very curious. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots steps in it. Interesting. Maybe it is time to employ the machine.
Okay, Georges, that should distract him for a while.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know what I find in the office. I was sure the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed to be quick, because it wouldn't take him long.
At last, Stobbart.
Sorry, Mr. Rickenbacker. I've been busy.
Yeah, I damn well hope so. I'm watching the news.
Oh, anything interesting?
Yeah, someone stole a painting.
Oh, really?
And it was one you insured. What's going on?
Ah, yes. Well, the guy was armed, sir.
So?
You think I should have thrown myself in front of the thief, wrestled him to the ground, got myself shot?
Sure would have made me feel better. Anyway, find that painting, or give me a good reason not to pay out. Please tell me that you have some leads.
I'm working on it. Oh, man. The priest was right. Evil was abroad. Henri had a model of a VW camper van painted in hippie colors. The engine capacity was displayed on the back, 1600 cc. Henri's notice board was covered with all kinds of junk. The telephone was... The statue was jaunty. Up close and personal, I could see that the fig leaf was hinged. The street was quiet. A naked lady stared at me seductively. Henri sure liked his clutter. I didn't want to carry the tape around. I had a feeling I wasn't going to need it. I didn't feel the need. Carrying an ink, the ink would have stained my hands for days. The lighter was corroded and grimy. It'd probably never work again. I decided to leave it. I didn't need a business. There was nothing else in the drawer. The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with evidence. It was a completion of work notice from a company called Vera Security. They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security outfit. Huh. I'd never heard of Vera Security, but there was an address and phone number on the form. I had no reason. The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view the recording. Bingo. I rewound the tape to before the robbery. This was the first interesting frame. It was Henri studying La Malédiction. He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen. The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like a snake eating its own tail. I thought about what the priest said. There was definitely something unsettling about the picture. Nico and I were taking a look at La Malediccio just before the robbery. Funny, the painting didn't strike me as remarkable at the time, just odd. A good view of La Malediccio. I could kind of see why Father Simeon thought it was evil. There was a certain presence about it. The most striking aspect of the painting was a snake eating its own tail. The killer caught in the act. There was nothing really distinctive about him. The CCTV had caught the killer in the act of lifting La Malediccio from the wall. He knew exactly which painting to take. The moment it all went horribly wrong. The killer making his getaway. A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo Motors. That could be useful. The alarm should have sounded when the killer took the painting, but it had been sabotaged. I wondered who could have done that. Maybe Lane, or even Henri himself. Or perhaps even Vera Security, who'd installed the system. The painting was gone. There I was, taking a look at the alarm box. Hopefully I didn't look too suspicious. That was me fiddling with the alarm. I hadn't thought about that when I was taking a look at the camera. That was the last shot. I'd probably learned... That was the... I knew it'd be wrong to leave the room without checking it thoroughly. In the trash can, I found a crumpled letter from Henri's credit card company demanding immediate payment. It listed extravagant purchases from a variety of ladies' fashion stores. The address indicated that Henri lived in the chic and expensive 16th arrondissement of Paris. I decided to put the letter back. Henri's financial problems weren't my business. But now I knew where he lived.
Monsieur, sir, you have snuck in here, and now you are tampering with my evidence.
I'm just looking for the name of the caterer. That cheese was to die for.
Ah, to die for? To kill for. I put it to you, monsieur. Monsieur...
Stobbart. George Stobbart.
I put it to you that you came here in search of cheese and killed the owner in a fromage-induced frenzy.
Well, no. I'm from Paris Mutual. We insured the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
Time will tell, monsieur.
Truth will out, Inspector.
Who dares wins, Monsieur Stobbart.
He who laughs last laughs loudest, Inspector Nave. The guy was seriously nuts.
May I remind you, monsieur, that a serious crime has been committed. I am going to have to ask you to return to the gallery.
Of course, but I do need to ask you a few questions.
D'accord. But remember, anything you say can be used against you, Monsieur Stobbart.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Do you know anything about a company called Vera Security?
No, I have never heard of them. Now, I must get on with my investigation.
It's very likely that the security camera holds a clue to the killer's identity.
Monsieur, I am a professional, and you are an amateur. So, leave the investigating to me, huh, pal? Monsieur, you are American, no?
Yeah, California born and bred.
Of course. I think perhaps you are wanting to be like that Starsky and Butch, monsieur. No? Rolling around on top of fast cars with beautiful ladies, firing your gun.
Interesting idea, Inspector, but not really my style.
Indeed. Well, let me tell you something, monsieur. You are my prime suspect. You may go now, but I will need to speak with you again.
I had some valuable leads, but before following up on them, I had important business to attend to. Hey, Nico, you want to grab a quick cup of coffee?
Sure.
I am pleased to announce that I have finished my preliminary investigation. This is now an official crime scene, and you must all go. I shall be questioning all of you again in the coming days. Nobody is to leave the country, particularly you, Monsieur Sтоббарта. Monsieur Lane will stay behind to help secure the premises. Mo?
Yes, Inspector.
Let them out.
Right away, sir.
Two coffees, please.
Nice work in there, Nico. Whatever you did, it worked.
I just made a tiny distraction, and Nave bought it.
I think Nave would buy anything if it had blood on it. You know, this whole setup, the theft, the murder, it just doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
The CCTV picked up an image of the thief. His helmet had the words Waterloo Motors written across it.
Interesting. I think I got a couple of good shots of him too, but I need to take a better look at them at home.
Great. Let me know what you find. Like I said, I think it was an inside job.
Go on.
Someone disabled the alarm, but on just one painting.
Let me guess. La Maledictio.
Exactly. And I aim to find out who did it. Well, the priest thinks La Maledictio is evil.
Charles, she's just crazy.
Yeah, you're probably right. But there's something strange going on. I found the address of the security company Henri employed. It was not the one that I recommended.
Good luck with your investigations. Well, I guess I should go. This story won't write itself. And Georges?
Yeah?
It's good to see you again.
Great to see you too, Nico. I watched her walk away. The sound of traffic, the sun shining, a crime to solve, and Nico back in my life. As I approached Henri's apartment, I started to doubt, whether coming here so soon after his death was such a great idea. Paris sure had a lot of similar-looking cafes. Tony's Brasserie. Parisians, I recognize. Paris sure had a lot of... Unsurprisingly, the front door was locked. Unsurprisingly, the front door was locked. I decided that using the buzzer would make more sense than attempting to...
Yes, who is it?
Excuse me, madame. This is George Sтоббарт. Could I talk to you?
George, what?
George Sтоббарт, madame. I'm from the insurance company.
For God's sake, did they have all this? I don't want to buy insurance.
No, I'm not selling, madame. It's about the gallery theft.
Oh, I see. You people move fast, don't you? This isn't a good time. I am so distraught.
Madame, Right. Now, that hadn't achieved much. Unsurprisingly, the front door was locked. Unsurprisingly, the front door was locked. I decided not to call her again quite so soon. The address led me to a dead-end alley at the end of a deadbeat mall. No wonder I'd never heard of Vera's security.
Please don't touch the sign.
Hi. I wonder if you can help me. I'm looking for Vera's security.
Yes, of course. It's the shop behind you.
Thank you. The name's George, by the way.
Call me Bassam. And do please forgive me, but I'm in no mood to talk. I have a resounding headache.
Bad migraine, eh?
The worst. The buzzing and flashing from the old sign is killing me. I thought the neon sign had potential until it broke.
Is it your sign?
No, the previous owners used to be a restaurant. But this is horrible. Adversely affecting my footfall and giving me a splitting headache.
You want me to try fixing that sign for you?
Do you know what you're doing?
I'm very good at fixing things.
Then please do. I'm no good at electricals. Marketing analysis and predicting trends is more my thing.
I took a good look at the sign. The wiring was exposed and the cover broken. No wonder it was flashing. I could take a look at your sign, come up with something.
You are like a genie from a magic lamp.
Seemed the letters could be moved around. Shame it didn't have the right letters to spell Bassam. I'd have to think of something else. I could take a look at your sign, come up with something.
You are like a genie from a magic lamp.
I pulled the wire off. Well, that was one way to stop the letter. Now only half the sign was lit. Aha! That seemed like a good name. Hey, Bassam, how about this? I know it's not your name, but...
Aladdin. Very cool. That's a terrific name for my store. Hits every one of my USPs.
Glad you like it.
You're a genius, George. Let me know if I can do anything for you. Aha.
So what are you selling?
Ah, I'm glad you asked. I sell all those things you can't get anywhere else in Paris.
Like?
English biscuits, Turkish delight, French cassettes, Brazilian Betamax videos.